Hi everyone and welcome back to Making Magical Adventures. In today's video we're going to be talking about some sensory areas and quiet spaces at Disneyland, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so first we're going to start off in downtown Disney. I'm going to go based off of memory here. The best way to describe our first spot is going to be at the downtown Disney entrance coming from the parking garage structure walk. That's a mouthful. When you're coming through that gate and you'll be walking in between the ESPN Center and the Star Wars Trading Post in downtown Disney, there is some seating areas where we've stopped a couple times just because it's away from kind of the loudness of downtown Disney and the music. But enough to get you amped up to enter the park. That is one of our favorite areas to just go and sit down for a little bit if we're just in the downtown Disney area. Moving on over just around the corner in between the Star Wars Trading Post again and the monorail entrance in downtown Disney, there's an area of benches and a big shady tree that's right in that area. That's one of our favorite spots. It's really cool for a hot day, and again, still pretty quiet before entering all the downtown Disney madness. So we're gonna move into the Disneyland park now. All right, first area is as soon as you walk into the Disneyland park. Right as you enter, you see the world famous Mickey or Minnie Mouse as they had for last month. You have the flower bed garden with Mickey's face right there, and there's some planters right in the center entrance where you could sit down. It's a nice area to, you know, just wait as you're entering or leaving the park to kind of get your day in order. Moving on into the park, if you go to the left hand side, you will see that there is the City Hall and a fire station. Right in that fire station area is a really nice quiet spot. It's away from all the Main Street madness, so going into the fire area is a really great quiet spot for little ones. They get some one-on-one interaction with the fire truck, and the cast members there are super awesome. So that is our first spot into the Disneyland Resort. As you're walking down Main Street, to your right hand side you have the Main Street Cinema. The Main Street Cinema is one of my favorite spots to take a break with Raylani. So you walk in, it looks just like a movie theater. Once you walk in there, it's a nice dark and quiet room, and they're playing a lot of Steamboat Willie classics. They're playing some of the older Mickey and Minnie adventures. Just one of my favorite spots. It's nice and quiet. I've even seen adults take naps there. So if you need a break from the heat and your little ones are just tired, go ahead and stop on into the cinema. Continuing to walk down Main Street and exiting Main Street, to the right hand side is the nursery. I've not yet stopped into the Disneyland side nursery. I've only gone to California Adventure side nursery, but there is a Disneyland nursery right at the end of Main Street to the right hand side, and it's just a fantastic quiet spot for little ones. They have a little interactive play area, and then if you have to do any diaper changes or any feedings, they have some quiet rooms further back in there. So definitely take advantage of the nursery if you have little ones. Also, while you're inside the nursery, if you have little ones and you forgot to pack extra wipes, you run out of diapers, formula, you name it, they pretty much have it there inside the nursery. We've also talked about specifics of what to pack with a young one, infant or toddler, so make sure you check out the video that we'll link up above. But yeah, just take advantage of anything that they have to offer there. It's just great reassurance that you know that they have that supplies in case you run out. So that's really awesome of Disney to do that. Alright, keeping to the right side of the park, which is so funny because we're left side people, but I like this anyways. So going to the right hand side of the park, we're gonna kind of go off into Tomorrowland and then make our way into Fantasyland. So when you go off into the Tomorrowland side, a quiet spot that we like to go to is the exit of Space Mountain. It's really shaded. There's some, it's kind of like an indoor outdoor area, I would describe it, and they have some awesome seating in that spot. So it's a nice area for us to go sit down after a day at the park. If you're in the Tomorrowland area, that's where we like to go and sit. In the Galactic Girl, Autopia, Finding Nemo, that whole area, we've sat there plenty of times, and it's a lot quieter than a lot of the areas in the park. So exiting Tomorrowland and into Fantasyland, we're gonna go on the side of Galactic Girl that takes you by the Alice in Wonderland restroom area. So once you enter the Fantasyland entrance on that side there, there is a kind of like a wall of benches, I would describe it. That's probably the best way to describe it. There's a wall of benches, and then there's a restroom area, and there's a shaded tree in that spot. When we first took Raylani to the park, that was a great area for us to sit down, take a little moment to relax. I was breastfeeding at the time, so it was a comfortable spot for me to sit there for a couple minutes and do her feeding. So another quiet area. The only downfall to that is you are on the side of the Matterhorn. So occasionally you hear a couple of screams here and there, but it's nothing too terrible. So again, that was one of our favorite areas to just sit down and relax and take a little minute to recuperate before we get back into the parks. After leaving Alice in Wonderland's seating bench area, another good spot, or a quiet ride I should say, Storybook Land canal boats. That's such a tongue twister, but I just know it as the Storybook Teller's ride. It's a good ride to take for, you know, just somebody who doesn't want to be looking at all the lights and all the flashing stuff that Disney has to offer. Moving on from that ride, going back towards It's a Small World. As you're walking down into It's a Small World, to the left hand side currently they have some stroller parking, and where that stroller parking is, there is some restrooms and some bench areas. There is also a family bathroom located in the back left corner there. So that area is also one of our favorite to just, you know, get away from the madness. It's all the way tucked back in the corner, so you really do get a sense of relief from everything going on in the park. As I mentioned, we are now in Fantasyland, so It's a Small World is one of our favorite rides, as anybody knows. It's a good one because it's not overpowering the noise that's going on. The song is repeating, so it sounds like a lullaby. And 9 out of 10 times, Raylani is either asleep or comes out asleep of the ride. It just depends. We never know what we're gonna get with her. But It's a Small World is a great ride for little ones. All right, so as you're walking out of Fantasyland, you're kind of making your way over by the Dumbo area, Red Rose Tavern, and then you make your way into that little area that's kind of Batu, Big Thunder area. Anywhere in the Batu entrance gate for me is my favorite. I wish they had some benches as you're walking through the tunnel, is what I'm gonna call it, because right there is really quiet, if you ever notice, and the music that they're kind of preparing you to enter with is just really calm and relaxing. So that's personally one of my favorite spots to go to. Anywhere in Batu except the Ronto Roasters is pretty much a quiet area. There's not too much going on. I would stay away from the Millennium Falcon area just because it is a photo op area. It's more crowded, so not there, not Olga's, but kind of anywhere else is a quiet spot. Exiting the Batu area, kind of right to put you where the Big Thunder Mountain roller coaster is at, there's a little area of seating benches, and they kind of have a back display of, like, if it was like a postal box area type thing. That used to be one of my favorite spots to sit back with Raylani when she was a lot younger, while Henry would get on the Big Thunder ride. It's a really good quiet spot. As I said, they don't overload it with a lot of music and surrounding noise there. The only thing is you do hear the occasional screams from the ride, but that's nothing compared to being in the actual waiting area. Okay, New Orleans Squares area at the Waterfront, right where they do Fantasmic. And speaking of Fantasmic, who's ready for next month? It's making its grand return. By that Waterfront area, there's some benches. Sometimes they have some umbrellas out, but it's just a good area where your kids can just run wild. It's a lot quieter. Sometimes it can get crowded as they're kind of moving the crowd away from the Pirates line, so that's the one downfall to that area, is it's a little bit crowded for, you know, walking purposes, but still it's very quiet. Occasionally you see the Mark Twain pass by. I would assume Mark Twain is also one of the quiet spots that we can include on here. That's a good area to just kick back, relax, look at the waterfront into Tom Sawyer's Island. Probably Tom Sawyer is a quiet area too. We haven't been to that one, but it's in our list to explore, so we haven't made our way over. But yes, the waterfront area is a good spot to just sit back and relax and just enjoy the view. All right, another quiet area that we found accidentally was we were getting some beignets and we needed a place to sit down. So we found a quiet spot in that area, which was over by the exit of the Disneyland Railroad and Haunted Mansion. There's a little pergola area, I would describe it as, and it's very quiet in that area. As long as the area is not being occupied for the entrance of Haunted Mansion, it was one of our favorite spots, very shaded with trees, so we really enjoyed that quiet spot. And as I said, it's close by the Disneyland one train, so if you need to hop on to get to one of the other lands, just a perfect area to take a minute to process what your next move will be. So walking out from Haunted Mansion, passing Splash Mountain, is one of our favorites, Hungry Bear Cafe. In the Hungry Bear Cafe, either upstairs or downstairs, that area pretty much we've never had an issue with it being too loud or noisy. It's one of our favorite areas to enjoy a good meal and sit down with Raylani. As we're on the top area, we like to sit closest to the railing so we could see the Mark Twain boat pass by. It's a really great quiet spot, pretty shaded, no complaints of that area. And lastly, one of our favorite areas to sit back as we make our way over into Adventureland is going to be the side tables outside of the Tiki Room. So those tables are pretty popular. If you can lock one in, great. I used to sit there and wait as Henry would go ride Indiana Jones or be getting our Dole Whip. Those tables up top on the side of the Tiki Room, it's just a really nice area to just go and sit down and relax. If you go later in the night and they have the torches going off, it really feels like you're in Hawaii, or just gives you a tropical vibe. So it's one of our favorite things to do, is to just go sit down in that spot. Raylani loves to people watch, so that's a good area for her to do so. Okay, and lastly, making your way back over to Main Street. Just anywhere in the Main Street area, just keep mental notes of where the benches are at. There's periods of times where it's not too crowded and it's nice to just sit back, relax, and people watch. If you enjoyed some of our quiet spot areas, please let us know in the comments down below. Let us know of some areas that you like to go sit back and deload. With all that being said, if you found this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to our channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications so you can get notified when we do drop a new video. And like we always say, may you always have a magical adventure. Bye guys!